Hello, everyone. This is Jim Biringer here, NHLRumors.com. Please smash that notification button, hit the bell, like this video. Back again, talking about the Dallas Stars, the coaching change that has come. As rumored, Dave Pagnotta, the fourth period. Rumblings started to happen over the weekend that the Dallas Stars were looking to go in a coaching direction, a new change direction, moving on from Pete DeBoer after their loss in the Western Conference Final to the Edmonton Oilers after Game 5. And in fact, that is the case. The Dallas Stars announced that they are moving on. They have fired Pete DeBoer. He has 1 year left on his contract. Jim Nill cited in the press release that a new voice was needed in the locker room to get this team to a Stanley Cup championship. And we all know what that's reference to. Pete DeBoer came out with some comments of Jake Ottinger after the loss to the Edmonton Oilers, where he pulled Jake Ottinger in Game 5 after 2 goals on 2 shots, calls a timeout, gives it to his players. Ottinger's going back to the crease, and then he just pulls him in favor of Casey DeSmith and never gives him a shot to get redemption. Meanwhile, the rest of the team just didn't show up for the entire series outside of period 3 of Game 1, where they scored 3 power play goals in a row to defeat the Oilers. That could have been a sweep. And DeBoer, again, in the Western Conference Final, 2-6 in 8 trips, 0-2 to the Stanley Cup Final. Hasn't been there since 2016 with the San Jose Sharks. His other appearance came with the New Jersey Devils in 2012, both times losing in 6 games. Yeah, he's got a 9-0 record in Game 7, it's all well and good, but he can't get there all the time. And he's lost the room, right? Matt Duchene didn't have a great series. Jamie Benn didn't have a great series. They're free agents. But DeBoer's comments, that holster that he had, that bullet in the chamber, and I hate using that reference, but he pulled out a card that coaches shouldn't be pulling out when it comes to a franchise goalie who just signed an 8-year extension. Yeah, Ottinger signed that extension in the fall after Swayman signed his extension with the Boston Bruins. And he's like, well, yeah, he needs to play better, and he's lost 6 of 7 in the Oilers. That's not something that you say about your franchise goalie, but we still have faith in Jake. Like, that's just something you don't say. He basically threw him under the bus. And as, Ottinger's the reason, they didn't win. And Ottinger owned it on locker cleanout day. He said he needs to be better. He'll grow from it. He'll learn from it. But he wasn't the reason that the Dallas Stars lost. In fact, he never got a shot to see if he could extend this series. He was out of the game and never got a shot to go back in. And Casey DeSmith gives up the first goal. And there were some goals that he gave up that maybe Ottinger saves. We don't know because Pete DeBoer just decided that it was, Casey DeSmith, and I'm not giving Ottinger. And the look that he had next to Ray Ferraro on the bench just said it all, right? It's like Patrick Waugh in 95, when he got traded after he got lit up for 10 goals. He's just like Mario Tremblay, trade me or, I'm out of here. So, Jim Nill just signed his franchise goalie. He's going to side with his franchise goalie here, and he did. And not only that, as Pagnotta reported and others picked up, Elliot Friedman along the way, stated that, there's rumblings, players aren't happy, they're not happy that DeBoer said that. And then he doubled down on Saturday. He's like, yeah, there's room for growth for Jake. It's like, dude, you needed to calm the situation. He overreacted to his team, being poor to start Game 5. Call the timeout, settle things down, but don't pull your goaltender and call the timeout. And the players weren't happy. They voiced their opinion. Now, again, we don't know which players because it's going to stay confidential. But you got to imagine, guys like Jason Robertson weren't happy. Rantanen wasn't happy. The captain probably wasn't happy, Jamie Benn, who's worried about his own future. Maybe Matt Duchene came out. Thomas Harley, Miro Heiskanen, again, just speculating on guys. But if players aren't happy about this, there's something wrong. And, the GM decided that a coaching change was needed. He met with the ownership. He met with brass. I mean, the Dallas Stars have not won a Stanley Cup since 1999. Haven't been in the Stanley Cup Finals since the COVID bubble where they lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Anton Khudobin was the goalie then. But this team is ready to take the next step, and Pete DeBoer can only get them so far. And we saw his history with Marc-Andre Fleury in Vegas. Alan Walsh with the famous picture with the knife in the back of Fleury. He favored Robert Leonard. So, again, questionable coaching decisions by Pete DeBoer has got him to this spot. 3 straight trips to the Western Conference Finals, all well and good. 6 of 8, to the Western Conference Final. He's a good coach, but he can only get a team so far once he was removed as coach in Vegas, Bruce Cassidy gets him to the next level. Maybe the same thing happens in Dallas. You know, who's out there? Are they going to go with Elaine Nasruddin? Probably not. Do they look into their AHL system in the Texas Stars? Jay Woodcroft's name's out there as well. He didn't get those jobs in Pittsburgh and or Boston, who just hired coaches, Marco Sturm, Dan Muse in Pittsburgh. So, and Marco Sturm returns to Boston. He's a good coach as well. You know, maybe those teams are waiting to see what Dallas did. Dallas makes the coaching change. Where do they go from there? Again, they got free agents, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene. Are those guys coming back? Duchene wants stability. Jamie Benn wants to be a Dallas Star for life. I reported with RG Media that they want to get a deal done. We'll see what it looks like. They have some cap space issues. Do they move on from Ilya Bushka and Matt Dumba? You know, reports are Jason Robertson could be traded to, you know, free up cap space. Not sure that's a guy you really want to get rid of, especially you're looking for goal scoring. They don't have it right now. Does Tyler Seguin move on? Like, those are the guys you're looking at right now. And, you know, again, this team had, you know, in the past, you know, pushing Tyler Seguin and Jamie Benn, kicking them in the butt a lot, and they found a way to produce. Wasn't the time or the place to do it, and DeBoer's fate was sealed after Game 5. There's no doubt about it. Again, Dallas Stars making a coaching change. Pete DeBoer out. We don't know who's coming in. Jim Nill's going to hold the press conference to discuss everything. This has been Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for more. Take care.